The Cold Soak is brought to you by the Ex Animo Wine Club. You can find more at exanimo.co.za/wine club, all one word.
One of our best winemakers at the height of his powers, the Ava Syrah 25 is the second ever 99-point wine ever on one day.
Oh, well, there you go. Right, end of July. Something we've failed to mention on previous podcasts, and that is, well, my fault and your fault, probably more, 75% my fault, 75% your fault, is the Next Generation Awards that Wine Club ran. Always an interesting awards and fairly unique in the industry. Run us through it.
So it is an initiative that we started in 2024. Currently sponsored by insurance company iTOO, who part of what they do is underwrites highly collectibles like art, vintage cars, and obviously wine. Hence their involvement. And as I say, began in 2024. It was, the motivation was. It seemed to me that to carry on referring to Urban Sadie, Adi Baden-Oost, and Remalanu as New Wave was becoming more and more tenuous because they were all in their late 40s and early 50s. So, who is going to fly the flag going forward? And we initially set the threshold at winemakers under 30, and then quickly realized that was a little too onerous, i.e. not many guys or girls have actually got too much behind their name yet at that age. So the threshold is now under 35, and it's worked. I'm actually really proud of it. It's a hell of a fun project to be involved in.
How many iterations have there been?
3, 24, 25, 26. Year one, the best producer overall was Natasha Jacka of Alinea. Year two was Barbara Melk of Reinecker. And this year it was Benele Vakele of what's
Timbellen?
Timbellen, thank you. Named after his mom, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I believe so. Run us through very briefly the process.
So entrants can submit whatever wine they like, and they can submit as many entries as they like. And then we, again, it's you judge in subcategories. So Shannon's against Shannon, Sauvignor's against Sauvignon, etc., etc. It's first past the post, I suppose. It's the best wine overall. There's a top 10, and best wine overall within that top 10.
Okay, so if it's wine versus wine, so if it's a Colombard, and it's an excellent Colombard, I mean, it's not going to get 99 points because it's a Colombard, or if it's an excellent Syrah or Chenin, is that, that's my immediate question is, if you make a Chenin or a wine style that has a higher potential points-wise, does that give you an advantage?
No, it's a fair question, and I mean, it's not a necessarily, I mean, you could say that the process is a little compromised, but I would counter in that in year one, Natasha won with a Sauvignon Blanc, and in year two, Barbara won with a Sauvignon Blanc. So you wouldn't necessarily expect that. You might well expect that a Syrah would come storming home, as was the case in year three.
Okay, so Benele's Syrah won the...
Correct.
Okay, and second and third place, or I mean, is it conglomerate, or is it just the best wine wins? So if you make 8 great wines and they're not first place, they're second to 9th, the other person will win.
No, it's best wine wins.
Okay, cool. And what other notable wines were there?
Benele had his Chenin, which is also a very smart wine, was just outside the top 10 if I recall correctly. Let's just quickly run through the top 10 actually.
Yeah, maybe the top 5.
Richard Schroeder of Groot van Santekraal was runner-up, and Groot van Santekraal is it's a Durbanville property. Richard is making some cracking wine, that does well in all the WineMag reports. And the wines tend to be really good value. So shout out for Christian Eedes and Richard Schroeder.
And what wine won?
He had a 24 Chenin and a 25 Chenin in the top 10. And then we had Liana Coetzee of Dimmersdal for her Wild Horseshoe Sauvignon 25. We had
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc. Mieke Engelbrecht from Niedlingshof for an absolutely stunning Noble Date. Mieke subsequently moved to Cederberg. Christian Negrini from Velbedacht for his unwooded Steen 25.
Nice.
Angus Paul, who's just making cracking wine in general, but this was for his Ava Syrah 23, which is off Caribbean in Polkadot Hills. Kiara Scott Farmer, proper rising star. She's moved to Harsendal from Brookdale, and the stuff that she's made in her maiden vintage across the board is really, really good.
At $140, should I be putting alarm bells on that to say go buy it immediately?
For sure, but I think that price has subsequently been
Adjusted.
and I think my sense is that Harsendal is, it was a coup attracting Kiara's services, and they're sort of strategically trying to work out where they want to fit in the market. But yes, I mean, if that wine is still 139 bottle, then it is a must buy.
Well, if I'm Googling it now, it looks like it is still $140. So
It's bonkers.
get on board.
Yeah.
Insert alarm here.
Megan van der Merwe from Bo Constantia was in the top 10 with a Red Blend Luca 22.
Okay.
Andre Versace from Kullenhof that was for his also for a Red Blend 2020, and that was the top 10.
Nice, awesome. And Benelle, what was that stood out about his wine?
As I think is common knowledge, he was mentored by Duncan Savage for a good while, and he brings that sort of precision and sophistication and elegance that you might well find on a Savage wine.
Okay, cool. Nice. And he also makes a Chenin, you said, that just fell outside the top 10.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, cool. All right. Other releases, recent releases that you've looked at? Got a list here. Maybe if you could just throw a few words at me. Because now you're doing one-word reviews. This should be pretty quick, huh?
So the one-word review.
I don't want to negate the need for people to actually subscribe and look at the. Maybe look at maybe more about the vibe and where the rather than the actual scores. So. Vergelijken. Talk to us about that. I mean, obviously that's gone through a monumental change over the last 5 years, I guess.
Yeah. So
where is it sitting now?
So I mean, I'm very how should I say? It's a very grand old property. It's a very beautiful property. At the beginning, at the late 90s, early 2000s, there was nobody to touch it in terms of sheer wine quality. And then for a whole bunch of complicated reasons, it sort of fell off the table. Recently, Luca Quinnigan left Glenelly to take up the head winemaking position at Vergelijken, and I would say, great things are expected of him.
Cool. And so the wines, are they the finished article? Are they improving? Are they his wines yet, or?
So at the moment the reds are from 23, and the rain compromised 23 vintage, and I don't care what anybody else says. There's been some exchanges on WineMag suggesting that 23 wasn't as bad as purported, but I wouldn't go long on the 23 Bordeaux style reds
out of Stellenbosch.
Out of Stellenbosch, I really wouldn't. They're not they're not train smash bad, but it's not the best vintage. Then there's no way around it.
An earlier drinking vintage.
It's an early drinking vintage.
Next one
Goes well with food.
Next one on my list here is Alinea, talking about Next Gen award winner. How are the new Alinea releases?
I mean, she does seem to be a super talented young lady. She's got a very former chef, or trained as a chef. So and as a result, I think she brings a very particular aesthetic to her wines. They're not rote, they're not, and in particular, she's got these two self-planted high-density Noordhoek vineyards on her mum's old horse paddock, and they are, one's a white blend, and the other is a straight Syrah, and they are very striking and very compelling, and the white blend is just plain excellent. The Syrah is love it or hate it stuff.
Oh, okay. Quite divisive.
Yes.
In what way?
Well, the current vintage, although the most recently released vintage, is super reductive. If you can't cope with reduction, you're going to struggle with it.
Right. Okay.
And super lean. But tasty. I mean, it's not a crowd pleaser.
Right. Okay. So it's a bit of a geeky sort of structure.
It's a bit geeky.
Cool. Rall, Big Donny.
So, a fabulous set of wines. I mean, one of our best winemakers at the height of his powers. The Ava Syrah 25 is the second ever 99-point wine ever on one day.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the previous 99-point was his auction reserve a year ago. So I think he's really on top of it when it comes to Syrah.
Okay.
But I mean, taken as a lineup, they're just fabulous wines.
Cool. Atypical, which is a maiden release.
Yep.
From
a bunch of mates who non-wine industry urban professionals, 2 engineers, an accountant, and a dentist, I think, if I remember correctly, who tasted during spent a lot of time during COVID tasting, and then decided it was a good idea to start their own label, which they have done so with Stephanie Weed of the Salon Weed as their consultant winemaker.
Cool. Good lady.
Yeah, no, she makes good kits. I thought the wines have got a little way to go still, but it's definitely a project to keep an eye on. I think.
What are they making? What's
there's a white blend.
A white blend and a red blend, perhaps? Just
no, and a pinotage.
And a pinotage. Okay.
A new wave pinotage.
Right. Okay. Cool. So one to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Metza Shiraz 2024. Is it Shiraz or Syrah? Is it Shiraz on the label?
Yeah, Shiraz on the label. And I mean, Wade Metza makes two fabulous Shannons. The Syrah is not exactly the antithesis of Alinea, but it is. It's less left field. It's if you're looking for a bit more flesh on the bones, a little bit more lusciousness, then the Metza is a good wine to go for.
Cool.
Without being completely overblown.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's a luxurious wine.
Yeah.
Electric Mud Grenache. That sounds like a new release also.
Yeah. So that's probably the most exciting wine in the last month or 6 weeks for me.
Oh wow! Including the 99-point.
Well, it's a Rall mold breaker. It's from Jean Smit of Damascene. It's a Pekingese Kloof Grenache, planted on its own roots, old vine, I guess is it more exciting than the Rall kit? Donovan's now making stuff that you expect to be damn tasty. same with Jean, but this is a new wine out of the Damascene.
So it is a Damascene wine, or
Well, it's quite interesting because he I asked him specifically on this point. It's like, do you want to see it under the Damascene umbrella, or is it standalone? And he said he wants it to be standalone, but inevitably, I mean, it literally comes out of the Damascene cellar.
Yeah.
So there's going to be
probably got a Damascene A number on it as well, and yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I mean,
But if you spot a bottle, you buy it, essentially.
Yeah. No, look, and it's 350 rand a bottle.
Okay, so that's not too outrageous.
Well, I mean, in terms of what's in the bottle, totally over delivers on quality.
Solo Chardonnay 2025.
As made by Carl Schultz, who of course used to make Eleanor at Hartenberg. Fruit from Belier in Lower Davenshoek Rivier, I think.
The Davenshoek's Rivier.
Off limestone soils, I suppose as farmed by his brother Gunther, I'm guessing.
Yes, well, I'm not sure if he's farming it, but certainly Gunther's overseeing that project. Yeah.
I mean, we should disclose that it's a part of that ex-anima portfolio.
Indeed
I drank wine. Typically doesn't last that long in our household, but I drank that over 3 nights, and it's a very, very smart, very serious shard, and the reason I mention I drank it over 3 nights, well, the relevance of that is that it really stood up. It got better and better, and that's
good news.
Yeah, it's a smart one.
Rainbow's End. New releases.
Rainbow's End new releases. So that's an interesting property.
Where is Rainbow's End?
It's in the general Banghoek vicinity.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So up near Oldenburg.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I've typically not had much to do with them, although they come with a fairly high reputation. If you're looking for serious Stellenbosch Reds, then Banghoek is a good place to start. I mean, we're talking Del Air, Oldenburg, Thelema, Tukara, are all in the general vicinity. And I was dead impressed with these wines. I mean,
cool.
As I say, in that idiom, I mean, they're not hipster, but they're serious.
Classic.
Yeah.
Cool. The Foundry, another ex-Animo portfolio member, so Chris Williams.
So, I mean, nothing if not reliable, and I don't mean to damn them with fan praise, but I mean, it's a label that's been going for a good while now, and just rock solid. Good value for money, I would add, or good quality relative to price. I mean,
it's usually the Grenache Blanc that gets the most. That's probably the most famous wine or the most known of the wines. Is that in your? I haven't read the reviews.
No, so I mean, I love the Grenache Blanc. I mean, a Viognier you can actually drink. I mean, Chris is mad about Roussan. I find this vintage quite idiosyncratic. I think that is, he used the word himself. It is idiosyncratic. I thought the Grenache Noir was very tidy.
It's a relatively recent addition. So,
and it's a 22, if I'm not mistaken, and a surprisingly much more convincing than 21, which was such a highly regarded vintage.
Cool. And the last one I have here is the Dan Colombo wines.
Yeah. So Dan was.
Oh, sorry, the Colombo wines by Dan Colombo. Yeah.
Dan was next gen top 10 in 25.
Okay.
So again, it's really gratifying to see these young winemakers emerge and then get it, do it, starting to build up a bit of a track record. So Dan's got this, in particular, he's got a Muscatel d'Alexandrie from Skrifberg off vineyards that are approximately 100 years old, which he does skin macerated, and I'm destined to be a cult wine. It's really, really tasty.
Nice.
And then he's got a Colombar from Paarl and a Palomino from Picaneerskloof, and are very, very smart. If you're looking for everything that's good about hipster, super, super tasty, super interesting.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, that's a rough snapshot of the new releases. Obviously, subscribe to winemag.co.za if you want all the scores and all the bits and pieces in between, and to keep abreast of the latest in South African wine. There was a bit of a big hoo-ha on WineMag over the last 6 weeks with Tim Atkin and Woza, concerning Tim Atkin and Woza. I know both two WineMag contributors wrote pieces on it. Both Tim James and Michael Fridgen wrote pieces referring to it, at least, if not outrightly. I won't bore everyone with the details of the pieces, because people can subscribe and read those. I just wanted to ask the editor of WineMag, what's your take on the whole situation?
The saying goes, the reason things and disagreements in the wine industry are so vitriolic is because there's so little at stake. Yeah, it wasn't a particularly happy chapter.
For whom?
For all concerned, I think. I think we do have to briefly cover off what went down. The Atkin report is long running. It emerges that going forwards, producers have to pay Atkin for the privilege of him reviewing their wines.
Well, I think they have to pay Woza for. I mean, I think this is part of the whole the ill communication that happened in terms of.
A distinction without a difference.
Well, this is my yeah. So obviously, Woza pays for Atkins, has always paid for Tim Atkin's expenses while he's here, and it seems now they're going to a user pays model. And so there is a fairly stipulated menu of choices. So if you want a one-on-one with tasting with Tim, it's X amount. If you want to do it in a little group, it's X amount. Or if you want to put your bottle in with a whole bunch of other bottles, it's X amount. And this sparked a lot of controversy. So yeah.
So I mean
that's the background.
That's the background.
Yeah. And why is it controversial?
Well, the pro-Atkin faction is accusing Michael Fridgen as a WineMag columnist, WineMag by association, of being petty and small-minded.
What was Michael's take on it?
Michael's take is that at the very least, it's ethically compromised, that producers have to pay a critic for a cited tasting.
So look at the garbage truck outside. That's going to be nice.
This is a stinky subject.
Yeah, they've come to take it away.
Atkin and his supporters are, accused Michael and, as I say, WineMag by association of being petty and small-minded, and that's essentially it. And I don't think Woza's covered itself in glory here at all. And Michael's point is, what are the metrics? How much wine has the Atkin report sold over the last 10 years, and how many copies of the Atkin report get sold and who buys them, and none of that data is forthcoming. And I don't. I have to, in this instance, side with Fridgen in that just present the data, and then the arguments.
But if it's between the producers and the reviewer, what business is it of anybody else?
Well, because Woza is a generic industry body, funded by the industry, and so Woza's it's beholden on them to some sort of transparency. I would have thought.
So this is just. So just from my point of view, sorry.
Tim Atkin's is entirely within his rights to say that his business model is confidential, and not in the public domain. But as soon as WOSA is facilitating it all, then it is in the public domain, surely.
WOSA has never been upfront about where they spend the money or how they spend money,
No.
to your knowledge, and now this has just revealed that to be the case.
Correct.
Because they've made a very specific call.
Correct.
So okay, all right,
And
then Tim's been caught in the middle here, essentially, or would you put it that way, or what would you?
well, no, I think.
So is the main issue paying for the reviews, or the fact that we don't know where the money's going, or who to, or how
I think it's a bit of both. I mean,
Right,
you can decide which one's more egregious.
Yes.
And then, as I say, I mean, Atkin's defenders are that the South African wine industry is inward-looking, petty, small-minded. The critics are it's this kind of thing is destructive rather than constructive. To which I would say rigorous debate is surely a good thing.
That sounds like an ad hominem attack as well, rather than actually arguing the point that's being made. But that's, from my point of view, I haven't got really a dog in the fight. So, I mean, like, it's a commercial venture from both sides. Why is that surprising to anybody?
Yeah, no, sure, and then I mean, and producers could choose not to participate.
Yeah, exactly. And Tim's running a business, which he's absolutely entitled to do. WOSA's trying to
promote SAY. The thing I would say about WOSA,
if they're being funded by the industry, then I agree with you. Then they need to have some level of transparency and see where the money's going and how it's being spent. There must be some sort of level of audit.
So no disrespect to WOSA, because Siobhan Thompson is a perfectly likable, respectable individual, with a long track record in the industry. But questions have long been asked about WOSA's efforts as a body tasked with promoting SA Wine's export effort. And, if it begins and ends with the Atkin report, then it's embarrassing.
So essentially, please communicate to the stakeholders and the contributors where the money's being spent. That's essentially that's the controversy.
And I would add,
and then the different controversy is, like, if I spend $5,000 on I don't know what sure the number is, I'm just picking out $5,000 as a number, as a one-on-one with Tim Atkin for an evening, do I expect a certain level of points scoring or review for that money? Who knows? All right, that's two separate points. Okay. Cool. I mean, we could talk about this for hours.
Yes.
I think we'd go around in circles but they're the two points that seem to be the most discussable and argued,
and quickly becomes not that edifying or tasteful.
Yeah, it slips into ad hominem attacks essentially. All right. Okay. What's coming up? What's exciting? Have you got some invites in the bag or some stuff?
Yeah.
So you were on holiday recently. Any wine stuff happen on holiday, or did you?
No. We went to the family Eedes went to Zanzibar, which, as I imagine most listeners know, is very much Arabic. So the resorts serve alcohol, but the wine selection is not much to write home about at all. So I consumed a lot of Serengeti beer and house cocktails.
Nice. What was the best house cocktail?
They've got this fabulous local gin. Well, gin is it's a sort of what Jack Daniels is to bourbon. This Tanzanian gin it's rough and ready, but it's super tasty.
Okay, so
it's
an aromatized spirit, and you don't know what the aromatized.
I have a mental blank about the bloody name, but it's cane based, and
so it's a white rum essentially.
It's a white rum.
Okay.
They refer to it as gin.
Okay. Yeah, as you do. Yeah.
And it's rough as a
double the price if it's gin, rather than rum. Yeah.
Rough as a bear's ass, and you can it goes with just about any mixer you want.
And what did you put in with it?
Oh, I tried multiple.
What was the winner in the end?
I had.
What was the preference?
No, so they had a signature version of it called the dawa. spelled DHARWA, if I recall correctly. But I mean, I had it with tonic, I had single tot of tonic, double tot of tonic. It was that kind of holiday. You lie on the beach, read a book, and stumble into the very warm Indian Ocean.
And where was the wine list mostly sourced from?
South Africa.
Wine of origin, South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But it wasn't sort of bottom end stuff.
And it was really bottom end stuff.
Okay.
And there's a producer who will remain nameless, no disrespect to the producer, but who subsequently recounts that the resort chain ordered a container that sat at the Dar es Salaam docks for 2 years before it got released. So that's what we're dealing with. Let's just say its time at the docks didn't help.
Didn't help it. Yeah. Okay. So not releasing with some bottle age. Okay. Pre-salad.
Pre-salad.
Yeah. What's coming up? What's in the bridge?
So off-air conversation you and I were having is about how many high-profile releases are in the middle of winter. On that note, we have this week Van Loggerenberg, Sadie, and David and Nadia in the same week. I'm expecting, all featuring the really magnificent 25 vintage.
Could be a good week in wine.
Good week if you're tasting and drinking. Bad week if you're actually buying the stuff. I mean, some cash flow issues present themselves.
Yeah, I hope you've saved your money over the last quarter or there's some great wines coming up.
Grafts, I'll have 6 bottles of Ava Syrah, 12 bottles of Platbos, and 12 bottles of Mevrouw Kirsten. Good luck with that.
Nice. Yeah. We had a lovely bottle of Platbos Chenin last week at Noop. We had a 2021 actually. It was unbelievable. It's so good. Really, really good. And if you don't know Noop, it is a restaurant in Paarl and probably the deepest South African wine list in the country. I would hesitate to, I mean, it's up there. It's certainly in the top 2 or 3 now that Mosaic is...
terrific bistro food.
Oh, the food's amazing. But the wine list is killer.
But currently closed, because I wanted to go there yesterday, and I think it's until the end of July.
Oh, they just closed now? Because I was there on Friday or something.
Maybe they've just closed for a week, but...
Yeah, or they just closed on Sundays.
No, I checked that, because being closed on a Sunday would be fair enough, but I think they've just closed,
Anyway, when they reopen, get in there.
Yeah, get in there. Get in there.
NOOP, Noop, in Main Road, Paarl. And events, what wine events coming up? Do you do wine events? Like, do you go to the Bastille Day bubbles thing, or do you what?
No, I'm
you're a wine introvert.
At this stage of the game, I am a wine introvert. I am. The guild auction is a little way down the line, but there'll be all the promotional activities around that. I mean, it's interesting to see. I mean, I'm actually going to a Cape Grace dinner featuring minimalist wines as made by Sam Lamson.
Oh, okay.
And these wines. So apparently the industry's under duress, but I mean there are plenty of wine dinners ongoing all the time. So I mean,
yeah, but is that a sign of stress or abundance? Do you think? I think it's a sign that it's stressed. If there's lots of people doing wine dinners and they want to put themselves out there, and it's because it's usually at a loss in terms of putting the event on, and you're hoping that
you sell a bit of wine,
sell a bit of wine, or you exchange stock for awareness, all that sort of stuff, or you get access to
a new clientele.
A new clientele, exactly. So I think that's a sign of stress rather than.
No, I tend to agree, but it at least means we haven't curled up and died collectively.
Yeah, okay. I don't think it's a good sign that there's more and more events. Because, the more and more events, it is a supply and demand system. the more supply there is, the less demand per event you'll get, and then what do you do then? I see on your site, going back to about a month ago, Tim James reviewed a handful of reds under $175. This caught my eye because, I mean, mostly the stuff on WineMag, which gets big points, is not 175 rand a bottle. Did you? I mean, it's a month ago. Can you recall this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the what was particularly eye-catching about it was how much traction it got. So and in that in related news, WineMag is undertaking to run the first ever Top Drop Awards featuring wines at $120 and under.
Right.
And
$120 according to who?
It must be available somewhere in the market at $120.
Oh, okay. So essentially cellar door price.
No, cellar door or...
Because that's usually the cheapest price.
No. At that end of the market...
it goes with different ways. Okay.
The major retailers drive price.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you might be selling it for $140 off the farm, and
they're pumping it out at $130 or something. Okay.
At $105. And so, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be factions in the industry saying that WineMag focusing on such a low price point doesn't do the industry any favors. To which I would say,
go fuck yourself.
No, to which I would say is that we can't all bleat about the cost of living and declining wine sales and then not acknowledge that actually, I mean, to your earlier points, David and Nadia Platbos is what, 750 cellar door?
It wasn't a cheap exercise.
No, it wasn't a cheap exercise.
Yeah.
So how many of us can afford to drink that quality of wine every day if you're a wine enthusiast?
Yeah. Well, there's the other thing. How do you get into wine? It's through these bottles that are $150, $175 a bottle. So obviously WineMag is speaking to the people who already know about wine mostly, and whoever spent money on wine. How did they get there? By drinking other more entry level wines.
And anecdotally, I'm embarrassed to say I've radically undercated for this most recent weekend. I went to visit my parents-in-law in Montague, drank
everything in the first afternoon.
The first afternoon. Had to go to the local Tops at Spa and 8
a.m. Saturday,
and because it was Karoo lamb and no red wine in the house, and very proudly took a bottle of Shadow Lib, 93 points on WineMag, selling for under 100 rand a bottle, 13.5% alcohol. Just absolutely smashable, and totally served its purpose. So
did the job admirably.
Okay.
And did you put anything side by side with it, or you don't have to say their name if you didn't?
No, quite happy to. No, I mean, also off the shelf from Tops at Spa is Boschendal Nicholas 23, which got a gold at Trophy Wine Show, and was. Top of class at WineMag, same wine, different panels. Okay, not under 100 rand, it was more like 250. But the point of the story is you don't have, if you're not in a position to drink the Compostela, there are options out there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nice one. Anything else to add? Well, yeah, thank you, Christian. If our dear listeners would like any more information on anything, please show it in the comments. Maybe we have a guest on, perhaps. If you want to be a guest on this show, please let us know. Or if you want to recommend a guest, please let us know. Just a quick one. Any more information regarding platters? Or is it all rumour and...
No. I mean, in previous podcasts this year, it's been a hot topic, hasn't it? But... it seems to have blown over, gone quiet. I mean, from all accounts, it's the general manager Bubbles is ploughing on, and
Well, she's also been on holiday, so I'll try and catch up with her when she's back. But I believe that the producers have been contacted about putting
Yes,
samples in and all that.
as I
stuff.
understand.
And that's as far as I know.
Yeah.
Have you got no more information?
No.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
All right, well, enjoy your Sadie Family van Loggerenberg, David and Nadia week.
Thank you.
Yeah, you better put some ballast in the body so you don't tip over.
Indeed.
This has been the Cold Soak, brought to you by Ex-Animo Wine Club, exanimo.coza/wine club, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.